Can you imagine walking just 3 blocks through downtown San Francisco, the economic heart of California, without seeing a single store open? It sounds unreal, but that's the reality. If you think it's fine because you can simply shop online instead, think again. Orders often get lost, counterfeit products are rampant, and some people even lose access to their accounts after attempting to buy something as simple as a pair of shoes. In 2025, basic shopping tasks, like buying cooking oil or cold medicine, have become real challenges in several U.S. cities. How can this be happening in a country that boasts Amazon, Walmart, artificial intelligence, delivery robots, and hundreds of billions in tech infrastructure? Yet, there are places where people can't buy basic goods, neither in store nor online. In today's video, we'll explore 10 American cities where people are no longer able to shop in physical stores and can't even trust online purchasing. If you believe this doesn't affect you, stay with us until the end. Your city might be on the list in a way you never anticipated. Let's begin with the first city. Believe it or not, in certain neighborhoods, people are calling Uber just to go buy a loaf of bread. Portland is one of those places. Once celebrated as the West Coast's cultural gem, known for its artistic neighborhoods, unique craft stores, and charming cafes, Portland, Oregon is now turning into a city where there's barely anything left to purchase. In just 4 years, over 300 stores in the downtown area have shut down. By 2024, only about 53% of retail outlets remained operational compared to pre-pandemic levels. A city that was once the creative hub of the Northwest has now transformed into a commercial ghost town. You might live in the city center and still need to drive 20 minutes just to get a carton of milk. A bookstore owner who had been in downtown Portland for 27 years shared a chilling insight. "I didn't shut down because I was losing money. I closed because I was too afraid to stay open." His store was robbed 3 times in just 2 months. With no other option, he had to leave. This isn't just about small businesses. Major retail chains are also retreating, not due to financial losses, but because they can't operate in an environment where petty crime is normalized and rarely addressed. When public order collapses, consumers no longer feel safe, and businesses, large or small, have no choice but to leave. If this trend of abandoned main streets continues, the entire Northwest could become incapable of even the most basic self-sufficiency. No groceries, no household items, no consumer choices. Despite being located in a tech-savvy and wealthy city, people live as if they were stranded in a rural wasteland. Imagine being a retired person with no knowledge of how to shop online, no ability to drive, and your nearest grocery store has been closed since 2022. How would you survive in Portland? What's your take? Is this the result of misguided policies, or is it simply an inevitable shift in the post-pandemic world? Let us know in the comments. This isn't just about Portland, this could easily be your own city's future. And if you think Portland is an isolated case, just wait until we talk about Cleveland, a city where stores still exist, but people are too afraid to enter. In Cleveland, the industrial heart of the Midwest, a troubling paradox is leaving the elderly feeling abandoned. The stores have disappeared, and shopping online has turned into a gamble. A 72-year-old man recently shared his experience. "I ordered a blood pressure monitor for my wife from a seller on social media. The seller seemed polite, but after I sent $900, they vanished. 12 days later, I received an empty box." According to the FBI, in 2024 alone, nearly 4 out of every 10 Ohioans over 60 encountered issues while shopping online. That means nearly half of the elderly population in Ohio have been scammed, lost money, or received fake products. Tragically, most are too afraid or embarrassed to speak out. And it's not just the elderly, middle-aged people are feeling helpless too. With no physical stores left to compare prices or inspect products, and with online shopping feeling like a risky bet, frustration is growing. Cleveland once had one of the best networks of local stores in the Midwest. From groceries to pharmacies, people trusted the merchants. Transactions were simple, and no one needed to double-check every purchase. Today, everything has been replaced by complex algorithms, faceless deliveries, and messages that never get a response. Communities are now trying to help themselves. Small neighborhood groups are organizing collective buying, sharing scam avoidance tips, and supporting the few local stores that remain. Sometimes, all it takes is reconnecting with neighbors, asking where it's safe to shop, who delivers reliably. It might just help avoid a lot of trouble. Have you personally had a disappointing online shopping experience? Share your story in the comments. You might be echoing the thoughts of thousands. Think Cleveland's situation is shocking? Just wait until we look at city number 8, where even tourists can't find sunscreen. Let's move to New Orleans. You arrive excited for your summer vacation, luggage in hand, ready to enjoy the city's famous charm. But within 2 hours of walking around, you realize something strange: not a single store sells sunscreen. Between 2023 and 2024, Walgreens closed 17 stores in downtown New Orleans. CVS, Rite Aid, and numerous local shops have also pulled out. Why? Petty theft has spiked dramatically, and there are no longer enough local residents to keep the businesses afloat. Ironically, this is one of America's most famous tourist destinations, attracting over 19 million visitors annually. Yet it's nearly impossible to find cold medicine or a bottle of water. A tourist from Indiana recalled, "I didn't pack allergy meds, assuming I could buy them easily. But every shop I found was closed. I had to ask the hotel to call an Uber to take me to a Walmart in the suburbs." This lack of basic services doesn't just inconvenience tourists. It directly affects the city's economy. Tourism accounts for more than 40% of New Orleans' GDP. If visitors don't feel welcome or safe, they won't return. And if they don't come back, who suffers? New Orleans used to be a lively mix of music, food, and people. But without essentials like pharmacies, supermarkets, or convenience stores, that rhythm is fading. However, some neighborhoods are fighting back, partnering with small vendors to create mobile sales points and establishing safe store maps to guide tourists. Real change starts at the community level, with locals who understand the importance of something as simple as being able to buy sunscreen when needed. Next, we head to a city that's even more alarming. A place where people have money, have internet, but still can't afford to eat dinner. Welcome to San Jose, the heart of Silicon Valley, home to tech giants and the birthplace of global e-commerce innovation. And yet, many residents can't buy sandals or a bag of rice in their own neighborhoods. Why is this happening? Major retailers like Walmart and Target have shut down locations in San Jose due to rampant theft, rising operating costs, and declining local demand. The once familiar stores have become empty storefronts. It's ironic. In the birthplace of Amazon, the land of AI and delivery robots, people can't even shop for basic necessities. An elderly former Amazon engineer shared, "I helped build Amazon's distribution system. Now I'm retired, and I have to ask my grandson to place orders for me because the store near my house is gone, and I struggle with smartphones." According to SF Gate and Mercury News, more than 35% of independent retail stores in downtown San Jose have closed since 2020. And there's no indication that the trend is reversing. San Jose was once considered the control center of modern commerce. But now, its residents are trapped between the technology they helped create and the daily needs they can no longer meet. Not everyone knows how to navigate apps or complete complicated online payment processes. Community centers like libraries and senior organizations are stepping up, offering free classes to teach safe online shopping. It's a small but vital step, especially for the elderly. After this, we'll visit a city where all the stores have shut down, not because of theft or crime, but because there's no one left to shop. That city is Jackson, Mississippi, the capital, and one of the lowest income cities in the nation. Here, people are not only struggling financially, they're also being stripped of the basic right to shop like everyone else. When the largest Walmart in the region closed in 2023, thousands of residents lost their primary source for food, medicine, and daily necessities. Jackson has homes, people, and communities, but residents now must travel nearly 30 miles just to buy a gallon of milk. An elderly woman from West Jackson shared, "The Walmart near my home closed. There's no public bus. My nephew had to take a day off work just to drive me to a farmer's market 45 minutes away. I tried to order online once but didn't know how to use a touchscreen. According to the Clarion Ledger, Jackson has lost more than 25% of its essential food retailers over the past 2 years. Simultaneously, a Pew Research survey reveals that nearly 60% of seniors in Mississippi don't feel safe shopping online. Jackson looks like a city full of life, but with no retail outlets, it's as if there's nothing left to see or buy. People have money, but nowhere to spend it. Some nonprofits are trying to bridge the gap by bringing back mobile farmers markets, food buses, and providing shopping assistance for elderly residents without phones. These solutions aren't flashy, but they are beacons of hope in a bleak landscape. And if you think this is something that only happens in poor cities, wait until you see the next one. Chicago, once a symbol of American prosperity, now home to abandoned malls and neighborhoods devoid of stores. Chicago, the beating heart of the Midwest and once a towering symbol of American retail success, now struggles to maintain even the most basic retail presence. A city where every corner used to showcase a recognizable brand and every shopping mall once symbolized economic strength has now been reduced to patches of retail emptiness. This retail giant is staggering under the weight of urban decline. In 2023 alone, Walgreens shuttered 5 stores within just a 3-mile radius in the Englewood neighborhood. Around the same time, Target closed all of its branches in the South Loop area. Walmart, too, has announced it can no longer maintain sustainable operations in many inner-city locations. This is happening in a metropolis with over 2.7 million residents, equipped with highways, smart city infrastructure, and public surveillance systems. Yet, residents often have to travel more than 45 minutes just to shop safely, or risk venturing into areas plagued by high crime. Shopping has turned into a calculated risk. A primary school teacher from West Garfield Park shared her experience. Target was just 10 minutes away from my house, but it closed down. The nearby Walgreens was broken into 3 times in a single year. Once, I tried ordering hand sanitizer online, it never arrived, and nobody responded. I just want to go to work, buy some essentials, and return home. Even that is difficult now. According to the City of Chicago Retail Report, between 2021 and 2024, Chicago lost nearly 17% of its active retail spaces in low and middle income areas. On top of that, the number of online orders that were either delayed, not delivered, or ended in fraud rose by 41%, a figure significantly higher than the national average. This city, which once served as the shopping destination for the entire Midwest, now resembles an upscale restaurant with no food left to serve, and no one willing to step into the kitchen. Even with money in hand, peace of mind cannot be bought. Yet, the people of Chicago aren't giving up. Some neighborhoods have begun implementing weekly, pop-up market initiatives, using churches, libraries, and community centers as temporary retail hubs, especially to serve the elderly. Several nonprofit groups are working hand-in-hand with local startups to develop secure, user-friendly shopping platforms designed specifically for seniors. These systems require no complicated verifications, making digital commerce more accessible for older users. Still think this is a problem limited to America's largest cities? Let's move to city number 4, where money isn't the issue. The problem? There's simply nothing left to buy. Albuquerque, nestled in the heart of New Mexico and once a shining stop along the iconic Route 66, now finds itself in a retail blackout. The locals, ironically, don't know where to go for life's most basic necessities, like baby formula. In many Albuquerque neighborhoods, Amazon Prime deliveries take anywhere from 7 to 10 days. The nearest Walmart could be 35 to 40 minutes away. Most local stores have shut down due to soaring operating costs. This is a city with 5G internet coverage and major logistics hubs near the border. And yet, when a mother needs formula for her infant, none of that matters. An overwhelmed parent shared, "My baby had a fever, and I realized we were out of formula. I thought I could drive to the store, but there was no nearby store anymore. I tried ordering online, but the wait was over a week." This situation highlights a dark irony. Even as Albuquerque becomes more connected digitally, it is growing increasingly disconnected in terms of real-world necessities. People are physically surrounded by modern infrastructure, yet remain unable to meet basic needs in a timely manner. It's a tech-enabled desert with no water. But even here, small rays of hope are emerging. Local community alliances are working together to reintroduce essential services. Mobile markets, food cooperatives, and regional farming networks are starting to provide limited, but meaningful, support to struggling neighborhoods. Still, Albuquerque's story is a sobering reminder that technology alone cannot solve every problem, especially when those problems begin with empty storefronts and end with hungry families. Up next is city number 3, a place where retail has collapsed not because of poverty or theft, but because government infrastructure has failed the public completely. This is a city where water doesn't always flow from the tap, yet online deliveries flood the inbox, most of them never arriving. Next, we arrive at city number 3, Detroit, Michigan, a place that once symbolized America's industrial strength and middle-class prosperity. Today, however, Detroit has become a cautionary tale of what happens when infrastructure collapses, public trust erodes, and retail life is abandoned. This isn't just about vacant shopping centers or disappearing brands. This is about entire communities being left with no access to daily essentials. In 2024, over 40% of retail outlets in inner-city Detroit either downsized or shut down completely. In neighborhoods like Dexter Linwood or Chandler Park, residents now drive for miles just to find a functioning pharmacy or reliable grocery store. And it's not just because people can't afford to shop. The stores aren't there. An elderly man living on the east side shared his struggle. The corner store I went to for 20 years is gone. I tried ordering cereal and vitamins online, but the delivery never came. When I called the number, it was disconnected. I ended up borrowing food from a neighbor. Despite Detroit's efforts to rebuild its economy through tech investment and downtown revitalization, these initiatives rarely reach the people who need them most. Those without cars or internet literacy are isolated. And for the many seniors who have no smartphones or live on fixed incomes, the new economy has excluded them entirely. Still, community leaders are not standing idle. Food banks, mobile health vans, and neighborhood co-ops are stepping up to fill the gap. Churches are transforming into weekly distribution centers where residents can buy vegetables, get medicine, or even receive digital literacy training. But these grassroots efforts, while vital, are not enough to replace the decades-long disappearance of basic services. Detroit may still be a city of innovation, but it cannot thrive without access to the most essential building blocks of daily life: food, medicine, and trust. Now let's head to city number 2, Los Angeles, California, the glamorous capital of entertainment and home to some of the wealthiest zip codes in the world. And yet, even here, there are entire neighborhoods where shopping has become an unsafe or impossible task. In 2024, Los Angeles experienced a record number of retail thefts and store closures. From South Central to East LA, dozens of small businesses have disappeared. Even in more central areas like downtown LA and Hollywood, major retailers like CVS, Walgreens, and Target have reduced hours or closed completely due to safety concerns. A mother of 2 from Boyle Heights shared, "We used to have a pharmacy right down the block. It got looted twice and never reopened. Now, I take 2 buses to get my daughter's asthma inhaler." The problem isn't just crime. It's also affordability. Law's cost of living continues to soar while wages stagnate for many. As stores close, residents are pushed into digital dependence, but not everyone has a credit card or knows how to shop online securely. According to city data, over 30% of retail complaints in 2024 involved non-delivery or fraudulent online purchases. Law's Department of Consumer Affairs reported a 60% increase in senior citizens filing complaints over scams, late shipments, or counterfeit goods. Meanwhile, community groups are organizing mobile clinics and market trucks that travel through underserved neighborhoods. Pop-up flea markets have become the only places where people feel they can safely buy affordable clothes or household goods. And yet, these makeshift solutions are a fragile safety net in a city that once promised abundance for all. Los Angeles reminds us that even cities full of money and technology can become deserts of accessibility, where the digital divide, crime, and inequality leave people stranded without options. Now, it's time for city number 1, perhaps the most shocking of all, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, a city rich in American history and home to iconic landmarks like the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall, has become one of the most unexpected examples of modern retail collapse. In 2025, parts of the city's commercial core resemble abandoned zones. Entire shopping districts, from North Philly to West Philadelphia, have seen an exodus of both national chains and local businesses. You can walk blocks without seeing a single open store. Even Center City, once bustling with activity, is plagued by shuttered windows and "for lease" signs. Why? A toxic mix of shoplifting, vandalism, labor shortages, and reduced foot traffic has created an environment where running a business feels impossible. A deli owner who had operated in Philadelphia for over 18 years explained, "I was robbed twice in 1 month. Insurance premiums went up. My suppliers raised prices, and fewer customers came in. It became a losing game." In response, some retailers tried reducing hours, hiring private security, or locking away merchandise behind glass. But these solutions only alienated customers further. Frustration turned into fear. Then, fear turned into silence. Meanwhile, online shopping isn't a fix here either. According to a 2024 report from Pennsylvania's Consumer Protection Agency, 38% of all online purchases in Philly were either delayed, lost, or fraudulent. Elderly residents have been especially vulnerable, many losing hundreds of dollars to online scams with no recourse. Despite this grim picture, pockets of hope remain. Nonprofits are opening community markets, where local farmers, artisans, and vendors can sell without heavy overhead costs. Libraries and recreation centers are offering tech help desks to teach older residents how to use online services safely. But these are not long-term fixes. They are emergency bandages on a systemic wound. Philadelphia, like so many other cities on this list, reveals the unsettling truth. America is not just facing a retail crisis. It's experiencing a collapse in consumer trust, community access, and the social contract that once tied neighborhoods together. Conclusion: these 10 cities, San Francisco, Portland, Cleveland, New Orleans, San Jose, Jackson, Chicago, Albuquerque, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, represent a growing trend across the United States. Communities where shopping has gone from a normal daily task to a complex, unsafe, or impossible ordeal. What once was unthinkable, struggling to buy food, medicine, or daily goods in a wealthy, tech-driven nation, is now becoming a reality for millions. This isn't just a consequence of one factor. It's the result of rising crime, poor infrastructure, inflation, digital exclusion, labor shortages, and policy failures. But amid the collapse, community resilience is still alive. People are helping each other. Libraries, nonprofits, and small business alliances are doing what they can. But the question remains: is this the new normal? Or is there still time to reverse it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if your city has faced similar problems, or found creative solutions, share your experience. You might inspire change in ways you never imagined.